Right, it's my pleasure right now to introduce a legend into the BBC Introducing Studios. Producer, singer, artist legendary, Essex. Welcome in, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing brilliant. And first out, I'm delighted because I've read your bio. You say you always wear shorts. You haven't let the side down today.
Never, man.
Is it true? Do you literally just not own any other pairs of bottom wear than shorts?
Just shorts.
Is that because you've got a kind of like summer personality, or just what's?
I think my whole vibe is just really very chill. Like some people might think I'm being rude. Some people might think I'm miserable, but I'm just always tired, always wrong.
Well, I mean, you're like a producer first and foremost. So I swear, you guys, the work rate you do, people who are fans of rappers and music maybe don't see the late nights you put in just to get everything finished.
Yeah, it gets crazy, man. But I think the sick thing for me is like the transition into being an artist now is I have to do the best of both worlds. Yeah,
so you get the kind of
and the worst.
I bet, but it must be nice for you to have that level of creative control. Yeah, because I think you look at the big artists, someone like a Kanye, who gets that influence on his own production. So then when he's, rapping over that bar, it feels like it's like symbiosis. Tyler the Creator as well.
Definitely, man. It's non-stop, man.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. And for you, so you've been putting the graft in for a lot longer than people may appreciate, but your artist career, that's about 3 years down, is that right?
I think in March, actually, it'll be exactly 3 years, so March.
That's so sick.
So next month, yeah.
And I guess, do you just sometimes look back and pinch yourself? Because 3 years in, collaborating with people like, I mean, JJ's only recently gone into music, but like the Rick Rosses and Trippie Reds of this world, that must be unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, even hearing a Gambino beat behind us right now, I produced for him.
I deliberately did that. I was saying, you have the collab back in 2014, is it with him?
Yeah, that's my boy, man. Like, I think he did a verse for me in 2014 on a track called Free at Last, which is...
That's sick.
Before I was like a singing artist, I was trying to do like a producing artist thing. So he gave me a verse, a whole song where I made the beat and he did everything. That's mad. But then prior to that, I did a track on Because the Internet. Yeah. One of his albums. And it's just a mad journey, man.
How did you make the contact with him in the first place? Because just like a nice guy from Wolves getting with Gambino,
he made it with me.
That's sick.
This was before the Camp album came out. Yeah. Before he was really even an artist. But
when he was just a multi-talented actor.
Yeah, and a comedian. But I was a fan of him. I was following him on Twitter, and then he just followed me back one day and was like, "Yo, I love your beats."
That's sick.
Proper random. And then we just hit it off, man.
Reached out and made it happen. Am I right in thinking, because you had the whole Council Pop project, that's all instrumentals, was the first time that you made that cross into singing with no shoes? Was that, or was it a little bit before?
To be honest, yeah, it was, but there's no words on there. I think I might have put that out like December 2016. But while I was making that song, there's no words on that song. It's just
noises. Yeah, beautiful harmonies.
Thanks, man. But then I think like 3 months later, in March 2017, I dropped my first song called "Wrong for You." That was it. And then that did really well, man. So for my first song, I was just like, I'll take it. Yeah. And as a producer, being behind the scenes, what made you feel like you wanted to put your voice on there? Because you've got a beautiful voice. Thank you, man.
And I was loving watching your video, like having people say you use autotune. You're like, actually, look, I can do the, and then you do it just on the video, and we can hear that your voice sounds the same.
I definitely use autotune.
Oh yeah, you use it, but you were saying people misinterpret what autotune does.
Autotune is just to fine tune your vocals, man. Like nobody, or at least what I would assume from my years of producing, is no one can sing perfectly in key. There'll be little shifts here and there. And I use autotune, but to get high pitch, that's just falsetto, man. That's just.
Are you influenced by people like Frank Ocean with those kind of high notes?
Absolutely, Frank Ocean, The Weeknd.
Definitely.
Sam Smith.
Solid.
Love Sam Smith's voice, man.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Adele. Even people like John Lennon. He's one of my favorite artists.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then even Pharrell's got a high pitch.
I think that's cool, because people wouldn't necessarily pick out John Lennon, but it's clear that listening to your old stuff, that the sounds that are going into your production, they come from all over the place.
All that type of stuff, like Supertramp, Fleetwood Mac, all kind of like old Earth, Wind and Fire kind of bands, just all inspired by them when I was growing up, man.
Yeah, just something like a wide range, really. Yeah. This upbringing in Wolverhampton, so you've lived there your whole life, you still live there now. Yeah. What's the music scene like there? Because we know it's popping on here, but have you been like a part of that? Have you been collaborating with some people? I would say like
in 2010, 11, I was definitely, and before then, I was a part of it. Yeah. When like the Woo Rhythm popped off and stuff. But As of lately, I'm not as in tune as I would like to be.
Yeah.
There's definitely someone that I like, and that's Jinx Touchwood.
Oh, he is fire,
He
bro.
has a track called Hands On, which is super
Have
fun.
you listened to Bangers and Slang, I think it is?
Nah.
You should check his stuff. But nah, Jinx goes in hard. And is there something about Wolverhampton that makes it just produce all this rap talent? Because I feel like there's so many people like coming out of there.
I think there's a lot of talent in the city, but I think there's a lot of what's the word, like hidden things that are I can't
obstacles,
difficulties, but like mental obstacles that people don't. I had to not be a part of that circle in order to.
Do you think it can be limiting?
Absolutely, because there's a lot of people that are not willing to share their winnings, I guess you could say.
Okay.
I'd say, and it's a sad thing, man.
Yeah, but it's funny for me because I know you know Scarlord a bit, you know Maz,
fully.
and he is from Wolverhampton, but most people thought he was from America.
Yeah.
And he's someone who, for whatever reason, just didn't need a scene.
Yeah.
He was like just building himself and almost like as a global artist first. So were you kind of thinking similarly? You didn't want to just...
I mean, yeah, like just as I started singing was just like I used to go to Maz's apartment in Wolves and we'd be talking about doing tracks together. And I remember, like, I don't want to speak his situation.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Just before... Heart Attack really blew up.
Yeah, before that viral.
We was in his apartment and he was telling me about how he doesn't know how long he can pay the rent there at the apartment.
That's mad.
And then like 2 months later,
he's not having any trouble with that now.
He's definitely not, man.
That's crazy. But I see you going on a similar trajectory at the moment, the kind of moves you're making, and I think it's sick to see from Wolverhampton. Like,
thank you, man.
And you've got your studio there, which I've kind of alluded to it indirectly already, but I just love that video where you're like, how I made Down Like That for KSI. Yeah. And you're in that room, just a room with a microphone that's a little broken, kind of like Scar had in his.
Like, I've had a lot of that equipment since day one. It's a fully soundproof room that with the money I've been making from music, I've built an extension at the side of my house, and it's a proper studio. But in there, it's so simple. It's a desk, it's a monitor, it's a laptop, it's a mouse. That's it. There's no.
Do you think everyone needs a studio mascot? Because you've got Buzz.
Yeah, I got Buzz.
Is it important on the late nights to have?
That's just my. I love like toys and things and cool, like, there's all like Rick and Morty's things.
Oh, that's dope. You into that then?
Yeah, I just have a bunch of random toys, like even like Cause, the artist. I have like his some of his models there and stuff.
That's so sick. I just think because it's a creative space at the end of the day, isn't it?
That's it.
So
man.
Kind of important for you to have just stimulus around you to feel like you're relaxed in that.
Absolutely, man. It's became my living room because I spend most of the time there,
Yeah, that's the producing life. It's not always as glamorous as walking out at wherever it was, Madison Square Gardens for a boxing match. The other connection that links to Scarlord is Daniil, who you work with. Is it Daniil Earth for your visuals?
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, sorry.
Daniil.
I pulled out of nowhere. This confused me because I know... Like Jack Parker, who DJ Scarlord, he used to do this show. Yeah. So I was following Jack and Scar, and I was watching the videos that Daniel was producing. Daniel Earth, I think it is.
Yeah, Daniel.
And I'm like, I do some video editing, but he just puts everyone I know to shame, and he's done some incredible visuals for you.
I think it's a collaboration between Daniel, Troy Roscoe, who does the VFX. Shout out to Troy.
Yeah.
And Vaughn, who writes the scripts of the videos. So it's me, Vaughn, Daniel, and Troy. We all kind of collaboratively work together.
And do you kind of go to Daniel for a video idea and you say, I've got kind of like an idea for how this...
Sometimes, yeah. Mostly, it started off me and Vaughn, just me and Vaughn, and then Daniel got on board, and then Troy got on board. But it's usually me or Daniel or me.
The video for Always Wrong is nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just put it on before we had this interview, and it's like... You start out with a car crash and you're like being chased by demons in the woods.
So that was Vaughn. He's a genius, man. Like, he wrote the idea for the video, the script and everything, and then me, Daniel, and Troy kind of actioned it.
Definitely.
So it's a good collaborative effort.
And we're living in a visual age. So it's more important than ever with, I guess, stuff like Instagram. Just to, would that be your advice to new artists? Just make sure you get your visuals nailed down.
I mean, yeah, and it's not all about VFX and fancy like things, because even on the Come Alive video, it was just me and Daniel in Switzerland. Well, no,
as you do, just in Switzerland.
But like,
but getting something
we just
more
went to we went to the French Alps.
Oh To get like a beautiful setting to start with, it helps.
Yeah, man. And it was just me in shorts in the snow, and it was just a bunch of. But it looks great.
That is the confirmation, though. Like even in snow, you're still repping the shorts
all day, man.
So could you be going through like, I don't know, hiking to the North Pole, and you'd just be like?
I think I'd have to flex it, man.
Do you ever have like an underlayer on, like thermals, or is it just bare legs?
No, it's just legs. Like there's a theory that I believe strongly, and that's your bottom half doesn't get cold. It's always your upper half. Yeah,
that's interesting.
So,
you'd be a natural footballer then.
Yeah.
And on that note, I know you're a big Wolves fan.
Yeah.
Being from the ends, how good was it for you to walk out at Molineux and do your performance?
It's amazing, man. A surreal experience. I think there was like 22,000 people there.
Yeah. Which
it was sick, man.
I'm not gonna lie. As a Blues fan, I'm a little jealous of Wolves right now. I wish.
I'm an ambassador for them, and it's like it's a blessing, man.
And it's so nice with them because I know you're aware of JK in Birmingham. So I think Jay was saying like he kind of wishes that Birmingham City would
I saw that.
give him a little more support. And it's so nice because I see Wolves, they gave you that, which is right because you're pushing Wolves culture forward. And maybe like I've seen them push like local artists, independent stuff, kind of like what we do for West Midlands as well. So is it, as you say, a blessing to have a club that's plugged into the
definitely
city?
And I used to work there as well. So it's like, you know, a lot of the staff that are there now still remember me from when I worked there, which was, you know, it's just sick, the contrast of working there to now being an ambassador.
To like, I think I saw someone do a tweet recently. It's like, I used to do the website for One Extra and now I'm one of the featured artists. So did you get the same thing as like, I used to be behind the scenes and now I'm walking out centre stage at Molineux?
Absolutely.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
And Wolves for the Europa League this season, you feeling that maybe?
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
That's it, man.
I'm jealous. That's all I can say. We got relegated we just scraped past Coventry in the FA Cup. I want to move to the KSI thing because even though I think you've had a massive long career that's built up to this, and it's not the biggest thing about you in terms of your journey, but it's a mad connection and it's just skyrocketed you.
Yeah.
How did you make contact with him the first time?
So the first time was in like 2014, I think. Ethan, who's one of the sidemen.
Yeah, Bazinga.
Yeah. I just gave him some beats, what they used to ask me to use in their YouTube videos.
Okay.
Then I think one of the tracks just became a big song on YouTube, affiliated with YouTube.
Yeah, because of it sort of becomes not like a meme, but like people hear it in a video and it's got millions of views. It's like planning in your head.
Exactly. So it became a big song within YouTube as sidemen and worldwide, literally. Then JJ reached out to me on Twitter, and then we didn't speak for like 4 years, maybe. Well, basically, until last year. And then we met back up, and man, we just hit it off. Now we're super close, man. And
it shows in the fact that you're continuing to collab now.
Yeah. So like we're working on his album now. It's nearly done, and I know a lot of people have controversy about, you know, KSI being a YouTuber and
being a singer and a boxer and
exactly, but like he's like someone I feel, and that's not me. This is not me being biased, but I feel like he's someone who will always accelerate at the top spot, whatever he does.
I think, you know, I was watching his videos back in 2012, and you can't overstate the fact that, like, we'll remember it, back in those days, it was weird to do YouTube.
Yeah.
But he's someone who persevered, and he's gone from doing these FIFA videos to boxing, and I think as an artist, well, how much respect do you think he deserves? Because there are naysayers, but
unlimited, man. Unlimited. There's a lot of people that will be like, oh yeah, but he's not this and that. But he is, though. You know, he's the biggest YouTuber in the UK, one of the biggest in the world. He's a pro boxer.
He's a businessman as well,
man.
Like.
And it comes down, and he's talented, man.
I think that was the thing for me. Like, he really put in a graft with music, and it was actually, and that's an interesting one. So the diss tracks with the YouTubers, I think his track "Little Boy" was the first time I was like, okay, he's really like, when he goes in, he can rap like anybody. Were you wanting to stay out of the producing for that because
I didn't want to be affiliated with YouTubers and music because I didn't want to be looked at as someone who is. I was already quite heavily affiliated with YouTubers through like the Sidemen and like TGF and things like that.
Oh yeah, those straight from Birmingham as well. So
yeah,
Midlands represent.
I didn't want to delve too deep into, you know, like being people looking at me the same way they do.
Yeah, because I think
that's not
JJ. What he's done is he's moved across into music, and he's shown that he's doing it seriously. It's not a meme.
But he's also bridging the gap for how people look at YouTubers. You know, he's doing it really well, man.
Yeah,
you know, we did Down Like That. Rick Ross, Lil Baby, and myself.
It's unbelievable.
You know that.
Did you expect it to go as big as it did? Because it's easy to make a that's sick. Because I think straight away you listen to it, and I listened to it. I was like, this is JJ's strongest song. But then seeing the fact that it broke that barrier and got into the mainstream charts, because it's not just some YouTuber song, or it is, but it's like it's transformed what a YouTuber song can be.
I think a lot of people need to remember that even though KSI or YouTubers are not directly respected by the mainstream, they have a huge respectable fan base in their own
100%. Like the fans are the best, and I think your fans as well. I've seen you talk about them being the best on Twitter, because your tracks, like the numbers are like just unbelievable.
And this
crazy,
is the thing. The sick thing for me is like I don't get Spotify playlisting. I don't get any.
Yeah, it seems really grassroots with you, and that's why you feel the need to connect with them. And YouTube, what it's for me done is taken out of the middleman in a lot of ways, and that is not a bad thing, because you don't have to stress about that. You're doing fine without it.
I'm just great. Look, man, I don't care about numbers. I don't care about any of that stuff. And I'm just grateful to just be able to make music, make a living from it, do my shows.
Yeah.
You know, and they sell out. And my aspirations are to get to arena levels, you know.
I can see it happening, man. Get to Molineux. Would you do a gig at Molineux?
I would, man. Definitely.
That must be on the bucket list. I think we'll be seeing it this decade easily. Easily. But shorter down the line, not quite Molineux, but you've got this tour going down the UK, load of dates sold out already, and Castle and Falcon in Balsall Heath, that's the Birmingham date, that's on the 21st of Feb, so that'll be next Friday. You gassed for that one?
Yeah, man. I love performing. I wouldn't say that Birmingham is my hometown, because I'm from Wolverhampton.
Oh yeah, of course, right. Hometown.
But you know, I'm not going to perform in Wolverhampton again until I sell out the Civic Centre.
That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that a few thousand?
I think it's like 3,000. But at the moment, they're not. It's still being renovated. So.
Of course.
But that's what I've like made a pact with myself. So yeah. But anyway, I love
doing that.
You know, being close to home. Birmingham is just down the road. So
definitely, it's going to be sick. It's been so amazing chatting to you, bro.
Thank you, man.
I just can't wait to see where your music goes. And I think it's mad to me that you're not getting the plays on Spotify, because it's a matter of time. The radio play. I think obviously the YouTube thing. Some of the bigger radio stations might have been wary, but I saw it on Capital Extra and your own material. Matter of time. So
thank you so much.
Keep doing it, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.